getting it, fellas. Look here. Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Troy Eagle, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the Power Band, this is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, Kevin, also known as the Wolverine, along with my longtime, lifetime hetero life partners. Send in the frowns himself, Ben in a jar he go.
Hey.
And of course, the always intriguing and exciting Slab 2 weeks.
Listen what I say, yo.
Welcome to the show, folks. This week we are starting a little run on Star Wars. We're going to talk about Andor 2 tonight. We're going to do Rogue One next week. Let's dive into some high level, man.
Come back in, hey, yo. This is what I say.
That's it. Benny, why would you mind going first, my man?
Sure. What are we? We're high level.
I need to calibrate.
We're high leving here.
High lev.
Okay. This was great. I'm upset that this is it, especially being that they did tons of my favorite thing in any media, the old time jumperoo.
Benny's
Fuck
favorite.
yeah, Benny.
Yeah, not a fan of the time jumps, and I don't know. But other than that, it was fucking great. More of good.
Spot on, man.
Mm-hmm.
You nailed it, dude.
I agree. And thoughts.
Thoughts.
I mean, the time jumping, it doesn't bother me as much. I have thoughts about that, but like everything else you said, I mean, I'll expound slightly on what you said and just say that in my humble opinion, or the opinion of this little node of the nerdverse, I would say that, like, in the modern age, Mandalorian, this, and Rogue One are like, that is Star Wars to me.
Yeah. We've talked about that a bit.
Just the time jumps didn't necessarily bother me, but it's just in reference to the fact that they kind of crammed, I feel like they were time jumping so they could cram the story into, or, kind of fast forward the story and end it in this season, which I'm not quite certain why they did that, because it seems to be the thing that everybody really is resonating with compared to their other shit. It's almost like they're like, oh, this is too good.
Yeah, let's get it over with.
We got to go back to like the infantile stuff. Like people are just going to start expecting us to put out really good dark content, and we got to go back to fucking Jar Jar Binks here.
That's exactly right.
That's just that's really my objection to the time jumps.
Yeah, which makes sense.
I'm in the exact same space as you. It's kind of like I get why they did it, and it's like I'm cool with that. It's like I
kind of liked it.
You got,
but yeah, it was.
I mean,
different.
Whatever. It is what it is.
Well, I guess like I saw that they originally wanted to do 5 seasons. I'll do my high level in a second. They wanted to do 5 seasons, and then I guess between seasons 1 and 2, Disney, in its majesty, freaked out that streaming is fucked and wanted to like strip the budget of this, and so they had to fight real hard for the budget for this. And I think I don't know, they maybe saw the writing on the wall that they wouldn't really be able to do the 5 seasons just from a budgeting. Like it was like $300-something million for this. So I don't know. Like,
dude.
Aside from that, like I actually kind of liked the structure. I kind of liked that it was 4 quarters of a lead up. I don't know. It's just maybe it's a different long form show structure that I haven't encountered in it. I didn't hate it. I definitely found myself wanting to know more about each of the 4 chunks, but I don't know.
Sure.
There's definitely pluses and minuses.
But it did a decent job pulling it.
Yeah.
pulling it all together. And to be fair, the pacing was a little on the slow side, despite the fact that they were kind of jumping from one, from one thing to another. But I think it was, made that way by design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever. I guess it's too expensive. Fine, Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you, Disney.
That's why I pay you as much as I do, just to have
just to get short
just to have
changed.
neither of you guys be able to use my fucking account to watch this. Because I don't know, why would you do that?
Because why?
You can have it on up to 10 devices, but only if they're in your house.
Such bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll take to quote a legendary friend of mine. I'm going to take it for what it is. I like that approach that you've brought to my world, Benny, and I definitely see the flaws of the chapters and the time jumps for sure. Like, I totally understand the limitations, but it was okay. And I do tend to agree that there were some moments that were slower, which I was fine with, but I don't know what it would have been.
I think the story unfolded well, as was. I just wish there were more than 2 seasons of it, because there's obviously plenty of story material there, and I'm sure they would have approached it a little differently if they were going to do it that way.
Yeah.
That's all. That is all.
That is all. All right. Well, for my high level, like, I'm so like, I don't know how to talk about this. Like, the generic high level is this is A+ storytelling, and I got caught up in the story more than the setting. Like, I kind of like, I mean, obviously I love what they did with the universe here and the world building and stuff and all the ships and all the good stuff that we love. But I felt like this show and the story was compelling even outside of the Star Wars universe. Like, if this was set in the world with an insurgency or blah, 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 like, I would have been just as interested in the story. And I think the higher level is like, and it's just gonna, like, I'm totally gonna sound like a wanker here, but like, the show kind of fucked me up a little bit. And like, I found that I was questioning who I was. Like, I was just like, I don't know how I feel about, being willing to sacrifice oneself for the cause, so to speak. And like, the disgust that I have for the modern world, and the disgust I have for the government, and the disgust I have for all factions in the government, and the disgust that I have for myself for not being willing to do some of these things that are, to try and make the world a better place, because I'm selfish about not wanting to fuck up my family and like the happy little life I have. And so like, there's some really mixed feelings that come up from watching parts of this. And it was just kind of interesting to, have those thoughts while watching fucking pew pew lasery shit, despite the fact that it's handled really well and very dramatic. So like, I don't know, it was just kind of like A+ storytelling, and kind of really made me think a lot. So that's kind of my high level.
Well, congratulations. You sound like a total wanker.
Yeah, and I just renamed myself Slabs a Wanker because of that. That being said, and your wanker status aside, I appreciate that you that it made you think. Like, I think any good story does, any good science fiction does. So hey, that's a good thing, man. It did its job. I'd like to springboard off of Benny's micro Disney rant and just add a little
go on a Disney rant.
Small Wolverine Disney rant, and say that in addition to everything that Ben laid out, which I like, they just don't put the money in the right places. It's like, here's the thing that you should absolutely fucking spend your money on, but you're not going to do it because you guys got your heads so far up your rectums. It's ridiculous, man. Like, this show, whether you two agree or not, and I think you mostly do, like, this and the Mando stuff, like Rogue One, like, this is like great storytelling, as you both already said, and it's great writing, and it's great Star Wars everything, you know what I mean? And they got like all these great actors in it, just like from the movie and all that kind of thing. It's like, why would you not put your money into this? Put your money into this. Put your money into something good. Don't put it into some of these stupid half-baked ideas that you've had. you've done full season productions of, and then they've absolutely tanked. It's like, this is like a guaranteed slam, dude. I just looked on YouTube for like 2 minutes right when I ended the episode 20 minutes ago and before we got on. And it's like, there's shit everywhere about it. Everybody's talking about how fantastic it is. Mm-hmm. It's like, put the fucking money into the good show, man, or hire somebody that knows how to make those decisions, man, because rant complete.
It's the first show, not that it matters, but it's the first show that I saw a couple of Anik nuggets that it's the first show that has ever had 5 episodes in a row over a 9 in IMDb in the history of tracking ratings, and it's one of the episodes is a 9.8, which is the highest rated show in any show. So, like, I'm not saying that I agree, but the public I generally do, but the public sentiment is this is a fucking good show. It's like, fair enough.
Well, dude, I don't like. I'm like, I agree. I don't agree. I agree with myself, like, because. We don't know because we don't know because we didn't get all 5. We don't know because we didn't get all 5 seasons. And I have, I've got gripes about the way this was laid out. You know what I mean? I've got plenty to say about that.
There's a little
bit.
I mean?
So I'm not saying it's perfect, man. But it's like, if you're gonna bet on something like this. It's really fucking good, dude. I mean, it's like, come on already.
Yeah.
But it's just whatever. That rant/argument is just clearly falling on deaf ears.
Not at all.
Cares?
I agree. There's not much more to say.
The financial thing is, is what they said or whatever. But I get the impression that they're like, oh no, we created a monster. Like, this is just not. This is it's too good and it's too dark, and this is not what we want Star Wars to be. We want to keep it this family friendly thing or something,
yeah.
Stupid.
That's, I mean, I don't have any evidence for that, but that's kind of how I feel,
All of my hypothetical evidence points to this.
Well, I think, like, even if you like take it halfway there, one of the things that I thought about here was, like, finally they're making like adult Star Wars content, and sure. I think like one of the struggles that I have had in the past with the Marvels and the Disneys and the Star Wars and these mega franchises is the I misunderstood that all of the content needed to be good, and like there's just so much of it now that it doesn't. And like, I'm just so fucking stoked that they finally made some shit that's dark and adult, and like the rest of it I'll just ignore and not watch. And I think my priors were like, because it was so hard to get these things made back in the 90s or whatever, to get the kind of shit that I wanted, that like I want all of it to be good, and that's just I don't know, it's just like never going to be the case.
Unrealistic kids fantasy.
Yeah, like they'll make realistic kids fantasies that are enjoyable for all ages, or they'll make fucking Shark Boy and Lava Girl, or fucking the stupid Hunger Game Maze Runner bullshit fests, like the whatever, like it's just, it ain't for me, dude, and that's fine, and I'll just leave it. But that's like me just trying to be generous to Disney here, which I don't know why I'm doing.
You're being incredibly generous to Disney, dude.
Because I think you're probably right about the monster bit, Penny. So.
Well, I mean, look, dude, the amount of resources they have, they can get the best people. You know what I mean? Like, don't cry to me about like, well, everything can't be a hit. I'm not saying you. I'm saying them in your voice in my head. Like it's like everything can't be a hit. Like what? Well, fucking do better.
Yeah.
My buddy over here is fucking paying for your goddamn app. And on top of that, he's not happy with the amount of devices and where they can be played. It's like, do better. What the fuck? You own all these now you got me. Did you do this on purpose?
Up. Here it is.
Now I'm going to fucking go off. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, really? No, he's fucking paying all of this fucking money, right?
Hundreds of dollars.
You have all these fucking, hold on. You have all these fucking properties. You have you got fucking Star Wars. You got fucking Marvel. Okay. And then you buy Fox, and it's like you have everything, literally. Yeah. Now the MCU is all one thing. You've got everything. Aliens, Predators, Star Wars, lightsabers, fucking nerds in their basement. You've got it all. So fucking do better. Fucking pieces of shit. All right. A little bit of that is my own shit. I'm going to just admit that right there. There's some of my outside thing coming in, maybe a little bit. But for the most part, it's like, do fucking better. Make a better app that doesn't suck. Make the fucking functionality of the app better and where it can be fucking played. Don't be so fucking stingy and fucking make better content. All right.
This is where rebellions are born. I love it.
This is where rebellions are born. I'm so rebellious. I'm rebelling against my own rebellion.
Rebelling against the rebels.
Ha ha.
Okay. I think we, unless you want to epilogue that one,
Rebelling against Walt Disney.
We just go and start an insurgency in Disney World.
I don't need to. Yeah, I don't need to rebel against Walt Disney. They're doing a great job of hanging themselves.
That's a movie,
that's why
man. That's a movie.
What?
Like, I feel like, you've got that one. There's like the fucking Star Wars fan movie where like the kid's got cancer and he wants to go see Phantom Menace. You know that one where they like have that van and they're like going across country and it's like a heartwarming nerd movie. There needs to be like it's not School Ties. Is it School Ties? What's the like prep school movie where terrorists take over the school and like fucking
Outside Providence?
Do you know what I'm talking about though? You remember that one?
Yeah, the one with Picard. It was like
I don't even know. But I feel like there's a movie here where it's like a bunch of curmudgeonly Star Wars fans decide to go and take over the park at Disneyland and start just like fucking shit up.
Kind of like Wally World.
I would make and watch that movie.
It's kind of a good idea. That could be really funny.
It could be really funny, man. It could be really funny. Well, that's where we just delved into.
Like, I don't know, maybe like Broken Lizard doing it or something.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
There you go.
And they're really mad. They're like, no, you guys don't understand. And they're like in the gift shops, like eating the snack food because they've been locked in. And there's like so many SWATs outside and shit. And
Masterminds, Chad.
It would be
That
so
movie was
funny,
called
dude.
Masterminds.
No, not Masterminds. I'm not ejecting. There's like a whole movie where like
you don't need to.
No, it wasn't it like not fucking potatoes. Sean Astin, isn't he in that or whatever? And it's like all these like prep school kids and they fuck up the terrorists. Like, why the fuck would a terrorist kick in the windows to Hogwarts and fucking hold a bunch of like what the fuck could they possibly want to do there? Anyways, Disneyland, neckbeard, Star Wars terrorists, and they're all dressed like fucking Darth Maul and shit. You know, all like Jedis and Siths.
And they're all doing that one move where he does that kind of like, it's not really a flip. He kind of like spins around, but he puts a jump into the spin.
But they try and they fall over and yell about their
that's how they approach. That's how they approach the Disney fortress of the Citadel.
They're just like these teenagers at the ticket booth being like, excuse me, sir. And they're like, don't you stop me. I feel like there's something there. Anyways.
We've reached the Disney Citadel.
We've reached the bottom.
Prepare the catapults.
Can I announce a death where I was like, I don't understand what BBY is, where every chapter was like BBY4. I'm like, is that
what in the fuck was that?
Is that BB-8's cousin or some shit? Like, what the fuck is going on? Before the Battle of Yavin is what it was, which made me like, and like what? Couldn't you just say before the Battle of Yavin in the first one? Like, I don't know.
Yes.
Whoa, nice.
I could have swore I heard you doing a little Star Wars robot there for a second.
I was, yeah, I did. The moment has passed.
Oh, come on, dude!
It's there in the recording, man. You'll hear it.
Sorry,
it's there in the recording.
Toy Soldiers, Chad.
That's the one.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Wow. Why are we doing that movie instead?
Right? All right, let's talk about the actual show.
We are.
Okay.
Well, we just talked about storming the Citadel of Disney with an army of nerds.
Yeah. I'll only add to your rant that it's a bit worrisome that Disney has their grubby little mitts all over all of that stuff.
It's scary, actually,
and,
to me.
You know, if they're making decisions like this, then what are we going to miss out on? You know,
That's exactly my point, man. That is the greater point. It's like, what in the fuck, dude? You know, like this is where we're at. Like the fact, it's like, I had a great silly analogy a little while ago, and I don't remember what it is, but it's like you've got, I don't know, dude. It's like putting a glass case in the trunk of a car, and the guy driving just got his license. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, wow, you got all this great shit. And this is what you've already shown us you can and can't do. So, yeah, what's coming?
Yeah.
Or not coming, as the case may be.
Well, I feel like one of the strengths of the show, other than, you know, the story and the writing and stuff, so like just like the handling of the world and the world building, and we had some gripes talking probably about fucking Call for Palpatine or whatever that last movie was, where it was like, oh, another desert. Oh, we're back on Tatooine again for the next 3 fucking hours. Like, I just really love that we're seeing other stuff, or a better fleshed out version of Coruscant or whatever. Like the gore and the Gorman stuff, I really enjoyed, man. Like, maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was fucking really interesting. And it was just cool to see a new fucking place, you know?
Vive le gourmand.
Yeah, and like it was just, there had so much going on, and like it was central to the story, but they didn't even need to do it. And I don't know, like the world building stuff was just amazing, and the character stuff similarly so, you know? The arcs of people like Cassian and Bix and Deirdre and Cyril and all of the other people, you know, Mothma, like there's a real lot to chew on. That it was just great to see it being handled well. It was great to see such an amazing universe explored even a little bit. And that's the thing that I have the biggest problem with is, you know, you're saying like, you can do this, why don't you do more of this? And it's like, I just want to see them explore the fucking universe. That's like one of the most interesting universes I've ever encountered, instead of just picking our belly buttons at Jabba the Hutt's fucking palace in our mankinis, you know, like just fucking explore some different stuff. You're picturing the mankini.
No.
Yes, you are.
I'm thinking about writers sitting around going, okay, so we get Boba Fett, right? But he's still alive. And guess what I'm thinking about? Tatooine, right? Yeah.
Tatooine, yeah.
Tatooine, let's go back.
We still got the set in the back lot there. Let's just go back to that sand.
Yeah, exactly. Pit. Yeah, we still got
scrape all the poops out of it and get back to shooting.
Man. I'm with it. I agree with that, actually. You know, I'm a huge fan of world building, dude. I love seeing cool worlds. Like, I've always said when we talk about Star Wars properties, we've talked about a few here, you know, it's like, I love fucking creatures, dude. All about creatures. I think the three of us universally love like creatures and fucking droids and.
Speak for yourself. I fucking hate creatures.
Right?
Fuck you, Ben Higo.
I'm kidding.
And you know, cool ships, right? Cool space battles. It's like that's what Star Wars is all about, bro. And it's like, let's see it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in a show like this, I can forgive seeing a few less creatures, but it's like, can we see more worlds? Like, we got to see quite a few worlds, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So I'm with it. Yeah. I'm with it 100%. Like that. I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it, I guess it's world building. I mean, I feel like the world was already built. You know what I mean? We finally just got to see sort of what it was like, you know.
What do you mean? Like the actual worlds, or you mean the broader Star Wars tone?
Like all this stuff, like a lot of this like lore was already there. It's not like it was.
I guess that there was like a little world building behind the scenes that talked about Gorman and how it has a place in the Star Wars canon, you know. Jesus Christ. I don't know if you checked out, you probably didn't, then episode by episode nugget sections is good just to find 17 paragraph long, like, in the year 1755 BC, the Gorman fucking hordes were actually in the square. And then, you know, you're like, okay.
On. Is that
dude,
real?
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. If you go episode by episode, there, in all the spoiler sections, there's like a fucking wall of text. And you're like, it was a Coruscant Class 7 fighter ship that came in hot. And you're just like, okay, buddy. You know? So, like, you know, there is all of that masturbatory bullshit, but I guess there wasn't any imagery of the gore or Gorman, I suppose, And so they got to create the aesthetics of the world and the culture of the world and even the language of the world as part of the show, which is kind of cool. Like it is kind of like a case of a new bit of creativity outside of just putting dressing on some of the other stuff that's already been created, like the Tatooine shit or even the Coruscant stuff. So, I mean, they did do some pretty cool world building. And then there's the standard, like I get to actually live my dreams as a designer and make my own, you know, Corellian fucking ship for Skarsgård or whatever, like, which is cool. I love seeing new ships and shit like that. We talked about it in the last time we talked about this, but you know, Luthen's ship is so fucking cool. And then even that like TIE fighter thing that Cassian steals was cool. And you know, there's a lot of like those types of things. But the Gorman stuff, I thought was really impressive, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's a thinly veiled sort of allegory for like occupied World War II France, but
yeah, sure.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
They did a great job with it.
I mean, there's a lot of connective tissue to the World War II shit, you know, like clearly the Empire was very, very based in the, you know, Reich and Nazi shit, you know, intentionally. It would be an easy thing to do in the 70s to just throw those tropes and costuming and whatnot. And so why not have, you know, Gorman be like Northern Italy, France, occupied France?
That
sure.
is 100% what they were going for. They even, you know, the language was a fake language, obviously, but they got native French speakers to deliver it.
So, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. See, like that.
It is 100% on purpose. They made it very, you know, Frenchy.
Right, but it was kind of like it was kind of like sort of French, but sort of German, but sort of like Slavic. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, that was also to Benny's point. They had like a bunch of German actors in there too, so it was mostly French.
I mean, one of my few gripes would be the subtitles for that language were flashing on the screen so fucking fast. I was like,
oh, really?
I can't even keep up. No, I could not. I was like, what the fuck?
You haven't spent enough time on TikTok, bro.
Oh God, bro!
Don't even get started, bro.
So yeah, that was a little bit of a bummer. But I mean, like, I don't know if I'm really being picky. I want to see more like weird worlds, you know, like Fallujah.
Yeah, that's
or,
fair.
you know, shit like that. But like, I don't know, like the wheat world was fine.
Dude, how glad are you that it wasn't that stupid movie with the 7 hours of slow mo through the fields? What was that movie?
No. So they revisited the set location for Rebel Moon.
Exactly. Yeah, and then shot a good fucking show in it. Yeah, exactly. Fucking Rebel Moon.
You didn't have to watch that horrible opening shot of her like muscles rippling with a giant moon behind her as she tills the harvest.
But it wasn't one moon. It was like her rippling with 73 moons. Yeah, exactly. But it's a laser scythe, you know. It's like it's made out of wood and has the thing, but it's got like
it's a horse that has no tail
lightsaber
because
blade.
it's an alien horse.
It's a lightsaber blade, but it actually has a droid built into it that's sassy the whole time that you're working out in the fields.
Oh, dude, perfect.
Sassy droids,
sassy droid scythes, laser droid scythes.
Definitely haven't had any of those. Yeah, totally.
This does have the best sassy droid.
It is one of the best sassy droids, to be fair.
Who? K2SO?
Yeah, K2.
Oh, absolutely.
There's
He's
zero
so good,
question
dude.
about that. Yeah, dude, Alan Tudyk is my spirit guy.
Seeing him just fucking, this is Sparta's fucking Empire dudes off of the bridges in Coruscant was just like, he was like, "Why are you here to help or something?" And he's like, "No," and just fucking punts the dude.
No,
Fuck, it was good.
Cassian, I have cleared a path.
Fuck me, it was good.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk for the win.
For the win.
Absolutely, man. I mean, like, it was cool to see how they got him. Apparently, of course, like, I stumbled across some YouTube short. It was like one of the only things I watched. And it was like,
K2SO and Cassian met in the Star Wars comic
Cassian and K2 and blah, 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 blah. They changed the canon for the show, and I think it was probably better.
You know, like, I was like,
Sounds
really?
like it.
I mean, like, what? Yeah, it was great. Like, he sees the robot, and like, I was like, I just knew he was going to steal that money.
I have an idea.
There you go. Nice, dude. That's a
Let me
good
pull
one.
out my droid hacking Leatherman.
No, it's just Chris.
I have a droid hacking Leatherman.
Dude, Diego Luna's the fucking
That's
man.
good. What else you got, dude? Lay it out. Come on.
Oh man, I'm thinking like what set off the Diego Luna shit the other week was I was watching was it Conan? Yeah, it was Conan. He showed up on Conan. Diego Luna did, and told this story about how, you know, Alan Tudyk was, you know, he's working with Alan Tudyk all the time, and Alan's on stilts and he's wearing these tights, you know, and like he's basically like, you know, and his balls, they're like right in my face, you know. And then like there's like the mirror, you know, there's like the Alan Tudyk interview that came like a couple weeks later or whatever, you know.
Sure.
And he's like, yeah, so Diego said that, you know, that your groin was right in his face. And he goes, his balls. He said, his balls. he like gets up on the chair and he's like, as you can see,
Tom
you know,
Cruise
like, yeah, exactly. Well, to like mimic the stilt height, you know.
Was Alan Tudyk doing a Diego Luna impression?
Yes, he was.
Nice.
I love that.
That is
His balls.
fantastic.
He said his balls. His balls were right in my face.
Conan would have loved that shit.
He did. Yeah, it was very funny.
I'm sure. Fantastic, man.
Funnier in person than my retelling of the story, but I'm sure we'll put the links in there.
Of course
No
we
doubt.
will.
There hasn't been shout outs in about a year. But yes, totally will.
It's a Leatherman, but it's for hacking droids.
Dude, you sound exactly like him. You must have been working on that for...
I feel like a Star Wars Leatherman would have that little droid dick that they stick into the Empire port and turn. You
Exactly.
know? Yeah.
Precisely. Yeah. It would have like a little thing to like, you know, short circuit them, and then it would have the little droid dick, and then like it would have like a restraining bolt dispenser, you know, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
If my Diego Luna is any good at all, it's because, have you ever noticed that if you hear somebody else do an impersonation, it's easier to pick it up?
Yeah.
Like once you've heard somebody else do it.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
it distills the essence if done well, for sure.
Yeah.
He's really come a long way. He's done some interesting stuff, man. And he's really, really good in this, dude. I think he's he's arguably better in this than he was in Rogue One. I mean, like Rogue One's great. We'll talk about that next week. But like, I think for these actors getting a chance to, you know, expound on that work, on that character is great, you know? And I think he did a really good job with it. And, you know, even more so in this season than in the first season, man, you know, like first season was good. I was definitely a little disappointed in the locations in the first season, but this season is like the acting is even more on point, you know? It's fantastic, dude.
It really is.
Yeah. I know. He's great, dude. Genevieve O'Reilly, like, fuck.
She was so good.
Benjamin Bratt.
They all are.
Dude, I was so stoked to see Benjamin Bratt replace Jimmy Smits. I mean, of course, you know, it's always good to have Jimmy
I'm down
Smits.
for Smits,
He had
but
a scheduling conflict, and I was like, God, who could you get a better replacement than Benjamin Bratt? Like, he's like, perfect. You know? I think he's Latino as well. Maybe he's not, but like he just slid right in there, man. Like,
no doubt.
Perfect. Such
everybody top to bottom, even the very minor players, were really good. Like digging through all the cast lists and all the episodes just to kind of see if I could find some of the randos. I found myself like, oh yeah, all of the rebels on Gore, like they were all solid and unknown to me at least, you know, and they fucking great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were.
I mean, the knuckleheads on the jungle planet, which I didn't realize was Yavin in the beginning, the first couple of episodes where they're doing that weird standoff.
Speaking of a bunch of knuckleheads trying to take over Disney, like, like those guys are what I envision.
Are fucking
right,
ridiculous.
So wait, are you telling
We
me
have
that
15 blasters pointed at you?
Yeah,
Don't say that.
What are you telling them our numbers for?
Was that supposed to be Yavin?
Yeah, that was proto Yavin. That was before the base was put together. Like he was going in. This is 4 years before the battle. The BBY, Kev. BBY 4.
I couldn't, dude. Hey, I could not put that together.
I didn't put it together either until I saw it.
I was like, what is BBY 1?
It's I mean, like, I guess like my fucking 12sies is like, I want to watch this like 6 more times. I feel like there's so much to digest that I just didn't on the first go through.
I think what I'm going to do is go back and I'm going to go and watch
the whole fucking
1
thing. There's no way you're going to be able to do season 1, season 2, and Rogue One in 1 week, dude. There's just no fucking way.
No, not in a week. I'm just going to like go back and watch.
Is that the plan?
No,
it is.
It's not the plan.
But
no, it's not the plan to do Rogue One next week.
Yeah.
That's the
plan. I thought what Kev was
Yeah.
saying is going to go do the whole thing. I was like, dude, you can't. It's like one of those.
I would like to.
I would too, but
yeah, not in a week.
Yeah,
Are you sure we haven't done Rogue One yet? The movie?
I don't think so. Well, if we're doing it,
we definitely did.
Did we?
We definitely did. Yeah,
Well,
I remember
doing it
talking
again.
about the and one with the Force and the Force is one with me guy and Alan Tudyk, and
We did a double
swear we've done
episode
it.
on episode 100, going back to Blade Runner 2049. So I'm
Yeah, we
totally
did.
down to
I don't care
do
if we
some
do
more.
it. I don't care if we do it again. There's nothing wrong with that.
We're doing it again.
Because we can. But I feel like talking about how good the actors were, including the small ones, and just I think it was the actors being awesome, but it was also just there was so much room. There's so much room to have all of the Gorman stuff. There was so much room to have all of the Miro and Cyril stuff and all of the Mothma stuff. Like the Mothma stuff and the Cyril and Miro stuff was just so great to see, because so often there's not enough room in the show, or it's like a movie, so you can't really go there. And then the movie's about Cassian and Luthen and Bix and stuff, you know? So just having those other things were just so enjoyable.
Right. Well, right. Yeah, it would have been great to see more. And I mean, honestly, like here's my, I've been thinking about this all week. Like my honest sort of assessment is I really struggled through the first like 3 or 4 episodes. Like I was like, God, I don't know if it was me. Maybe it was like, you know, we've given disclaimers like this before, but I was like, the pacing, I was just like, ugh, this is a fucking slog, man. Like it was a bit of a slog, you know? And it was like, I was having a hard time holding my attention on it, you know? And then when I got around to like 5, and then I was like, all of a sudden I was just like locked in, you know, and
Right.
thoroughly enjoying it. So I was finding it a little, maybe it was the pacing was slow. I don't know. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was the stars and the moon. I have no idea, but that was sort of my initial
The Rebel Moon. No, I mean,
Oh God. You know what
Benny
I mean?
Benny did mention
Maybe
it takes
not.
a little while to get hotted up, and so like I think just that little bit of a heads up that it does get to a good spot was helpful for me. I didn't actually find that I had too much of a problem with the opening. I mean, I kind of found the like stealing of the ship leading into a bunch of idiots in a jungle. I was just kind of like, okay, like this is a thing they decided to do to kind of, I don't know, give Andor something to do and have it be interesting. Like I could have done without that, I guess, but it was like I didn't hate it. I was just like, okay, whatever. Other than that minor like thing, I didn't really mind any of it. I kind of enjoyed the pace of it. And I guess to the point of the structure, it's the first 3 episodes. That first chunk was the chunk that was kind of like, oh, right on. And then after that, it kind of kicks off pretty good. So,
Yeah. I mean,
I did definitely.
you know,
It
that
sounds like you
said-
had issues with, you know, getting into it maybe on to a larger degree than I did.
I maybe that was it. But again, you know, it kind of plays to the whole thing of breaking it up and doing a bunch of time jumping and not really being able to flesh out the stories the way you wanted to. Because I mean, really, like if you think about it, the way it was sort of I don't know. I didn't really pick up that it was broken into 4 separate parts, but if that's what it is, then it seemed like each part would have been spent on one of those stories. You know what I mean? Like we would have got like the Rebel Moon Planet.
Though.
I'm just saying that's how it may have planned it. You know what I mean? It was like to have like the Rebel Moon Planet and then the Gorman thing and then the other thing and then the final thing. You know what I mean?
Instead, it was like era. It wasn't literally eras, but it was kind of like eras. You know, you have the bunch of knuckleheads in a jungle era, and then it's like getting their shit together and getting their shit pushed in, and then starting the rebellion. You know, like it's like all of the characters are kind of coming through those different periods, and I think that's what I found most interesting about it. It wasn't like the first 3 episodes are fucking Nero or whatever, and the second set of 3 episodes is Mon Mothma, and the third set of 3 episodes is Bix. Like, I kind of liked that it was kind of weaving back and forth all the way through, and you could kind of see how they go through these different sequences of time. It was way more interesting.
Okay, I'm with that. What else?
Do we want to dig into any of like the bigger chunks, like Deirdre and Sybil, or Gorman, or whatever?
Sure. We can go to any one of those.
Deirdre
places,
and
man.
Cyril.
Cyril? Did I say Sybil? Sybil Shepherd?
Cyril.
You did say Sybil.
I really love Cyril, man. Like, I hated him so hard in the first season, and he is just such a fucking douchey little cuckburger, and I love him.
He's a total data nerd, you know? In the first season, I was like, God, this guy is like dying to be in the ISB, but he's never going to be in it. You know what
He's
I
got
mean?
one of the
Kinda
best
thing.
arcs, man.
He does. Like, I really came to enjoy the character in this season, man, and I really loved everything his character did. Like, when he freaked out on her, like, towards the end there, I was like, holy shit, that was fucking savage, dude. Like, grabs her by
their
the
relationship.
neck. What did you do?
So
You know,
great.
I was like, fuck, bro.
They had such a fucked up relationship, and I'm so here for it. Like that's another fucking comedy, you know, like the like, super awkward imperial rom-com, dude. Like,
No, it should be a
for
sitcom,
Listen.
dude. Right? Shouldn't it be a sitcom?
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Cyril
with a laugh
and
track.
Deidre.
With a
He loves
laugh track when
cereal.
things
She
aren't
loves
funny, you know?
torture.
Yeah, exactly.
A sitcom, but with a laugh track when things aren't funny.
Oh, fuck yeah. When things get violent, dude, that's when you kick in the laugh track, man.
Yeah, there's
He's like he'd be like, we're almost out of cereal. And then he'd go up to her real slow and then grab her by the neck. What did you do?
No. It's like an opaque, milk carton, and he's already poured his cereal, and he goes to pour the blue milk, and there's
Space
nothing
milk.
in there.
Right. There you go. Even better, right?
So it's like
Then
you
he
put the,
walks up to her.
you put the empty carton back in the fridge, you bitch.
Dude, totally, man. Like they are just I was so there for them. Like I was like I felt so weird about like rooting for their romance and how fucking ridiculous their getting together was. Like them just like awkwardly standing there like super wooden, like I don't know, man. There was just so much fucking hilarious shit going on.
You sound like
There's
a
some-
girl talking
I know.
about Sex in the City.
I know,
dude.
and it's
so
just
great.
like I'm
I was
totally
so
here for
there
it.
for them. Oh my god!
I was though. Like
Cyril
I
is
don't know.
amazing.
I literally was.
They were giving this awkward energy, and I was there for it.
I'm.
You mean when
standing
Cyril got
so
the
hard
blue
for it.
milk?
I can't. I don't know.
So there's numerous interviews with Denise Goff and Kyle Solar talking about, their weird fucking relationship on camera, and like their technique was to try and weird each other out constantly
Ooh,
while they
nice.
were like just
I
with
like
like
that.
weird looks and shit the whole time they were filming. So
Yes.
like that's what you're getting on screen there is like
I
them
love
like
it.
basically like trying to out weird each other.
I so love it, man.
That's good, man. It's really good.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
It's cool.
You mix in that fucking mom, dude. I like honestly,
oh my god,
oh man!
if you made a show out of Cyril's fucking cuckburger life, like I would watch the living shit out of it, dude. Like, his mom,
dude. The mom would be like an integral part of the sitcom, dude. It would be funny if it was like a recurring
it's like a
joke.
Seinfeld level, like a fucking Imperial Seinfeld. This is Imperial Seinfeld. It's like he's George Costanza and fucking his mom is oh my, like, you know what I mean? Like Festivus is an Imperial holiday, dude.
You have one of the threads that always happens in an episode is that there's like, it's like a game to see who's going to kill the mom in each episode.
Sure.
Right? In every single one. She dies in every single one.
Yeah.
And every single episode starts with her in a Bacta tank coming back to life.
That's like Fish Called Wanda when Michael Palin's trying to kill the old lady and he keeps killing the dog by accident.
100%. 100%.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. There's something there, you know. It's like a dick-a-dick-diddle-oo, and then like the episode's always some funny Seinfeld shit, but woven into it is like interrogating and torturing some poor citizen or something because they're like the ISB, you know, like ruining some fucking person's life.
A dark romantic sitcom.
That's so here for this. Fucking, I am all over this.
Great idea.
And there's like that weird fucking space fondue fucking table and like the dinner scene.
Oh, fuck
like,
yeah.
Dude, when Miro, like,
those little spiders had the little
I thought like Cyril was gonna go take a cheese shit, but he's like gonna go lay down on the bed like a jellyfish. Like, I'm just like, there was so much in this in that I am so in love with, man. He's just like on the bed, you know, like having a tantrum in the fucking bedroom while Miro's like, I will fucking kill you, you old bitch. And she's like, oh, you know, it was so fucking great, man.
Oh my God. Dude, the mom.
Cyril comes flying in and Miro's like, you know, did you do the thing? And he's like, yes. How much time do we have? An hour. He's like, are you fucking serious? Turn off the lights. You know? I would like to peg you now, Cyril.
Oh my
Turn
God.
the lights off.
Yes, Cyril, I'm going to put you on the St. Anne's cross. Fetch me my candles.
Oh my God. I am so all over it. And then to top it all off, like you have all of this shit, all of the Cyril stuff, all of the Miro stuff. And then, you know, Cyril has that experience in the fucking massacre. And then you've got like that shot of the crazy ass mom with her girlfriends watching the propaganda, like crying. Like it's just, it gets you, man. Like even with the ridiculousness and the enjoyability of the weird sitcom, it just fucking hits, dude. I don't know, man. It's just, it's such a great thread. And I love the two of them. And I love Miro and her arc too, you know, like she ending up in a fucking cell.
Yeah. Who?
Oh, Dedra, you mean?
You mean Dedra?
Yeah, Dedra Miro. Yeah.
Oh, Dedra Miro. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben. Apparently, Chad is so deep into this season of this show.
So deep.
Like all about last names. He's way ahead of us, dude.
Well, they always refer to her as Miro and the Imperial. I don't know. Maybe I just picked up on that.
And the evil dentist council.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude.
As I like to refer to it.
Totally.
Dude. Are you saying the ISB is the evil dentistry, the Ministry of Evil Dentistry?
The Ministry of Evil Dentists. Yeah.
And you know who actually runs the show behind the scenes? Steve Martin from Little Shop of Horrors.
Holy shit,
totally.
That would be the funniest shit ever.
If that dude fucking shoots himself at the end and then like Steve Martin walks in the full fucking regalia with like 75 blue and red fucking squares on his lapel. Like I am so here for that.
I have 75 blue plastic gems on my shirt.
Yes, and he's got an an extra 4 evil dentist drills pinned to his costume.
Oh yeah, those fucking cool whatever the fucks were great.
They're supposed to be like decoder things or something like that. Like they're some kind of code. Like
it just is drink your Ovaltine when you pull them out.
And they're little white evil dentist costumes. They have like a little like a thing that looks like a dental drill and like each side. Looks like they look like pens. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah. There's supposed to be some kind of like I forget like a decryption thing or a code thing or something. I don't know.
They're droid dicks. They're like they're just droid dicks.
It's just a pen.
It's literally just like a super fat fucking Sharpie. Space Sharpie. It's just a space pocket protector, bro.
They're called code cylinders.
You're called code. So my fucking new
exactly.
name
Your
is
new
security
nickname
devices used to authenticate and authorize individuals within the Imperial Security Network.
Oh my god! Your new nickname is Code
Cylinder. That's like a Matrix
Code Cylinder.
I don't know.
I think they're just evil dentist drills. You know?
They are. Yeah, they're like the little hooks, the little picks, scratching on your teeth.
Yes, this afternoon I get to do a root canal with absolutely no anesthetic.
Suction. No, you know they wouldn't.
Oh no, I'm only doing a couple of tractions.
Right.
You're so lucky.
But that's what actually they did to Bix. Like that was the torture, was just like a non-anesthetic root canal.
Non-anesthetic dentistry. That's you know, you understand our main form of torture here at the ISB is non-anesthetic dental procedures.
Unnecessary.
Yes. Yes. Unnecessary non-anesthetic dental procedures. What about that old guy? He was like the king of the fucking evil British douches, if I ever saw
Which guy?
one,
Partagas?
right?
Oh, yeah.
The head dentist.
Partagas.
Partagas, yeah.
What's his name? Prendergast?
Teddy Pendergrass. Yeah.
There's Supervisor Lagrat as well. Supervisor Ragrat's the guy at the end.
That guy was kind of, he got a little in the weeds,
troopers
dude.
when they got all hepped up on the guy shooting himself. You know, he's like, nah,
Yeah.
stay there.
He got a little in the weeds there a couple times.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, wait, well, what's going on? Wait, who said that? Who, what? In that circular sort of like, you know, whatever. Yeah. Monitoring
the dentist room,
situation room, whatever it was.
I loved the Imperial fuck knuckles go to the dinner party for all the fucking free Schlitz beers, you know, like, oh, we're drinking fucking gargle blasters, man. I've already had 3. Like, wait, at that party,
gargle blasters. What party?
Yeah, Pan-Galactic Gargle Blasters. They go to fucking, what's her name? Mon Mothma's brother-in-law now, like dickhead gangster who does all the weird, brings that giant piece of art to the weird rave wedding.
Oh, the rave wedding? Is that the party you're talking about?
But it's not the rave wedding. So like the rave wedding guy has a party on Coruscant that everybody goes to, and it's where like the random art chick needs to get the bug out of the like blind people. I can't believe these sentences that I'm saying. The blind people playing an art piece.
Oh, yeah. I remember that part. Yeah, sure.
And she's like, her hand's bleeding because she's trying to get it out. Like, that's like the party where they all like meet up, and the like Supervisor Ragrat's like, what are you douchebags doing here? And like the younger dentists are like, oh, we just got the invite when fucking Phil couldn't make it, you know, and the guy's like, dude, we're drinking margaritas, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, what?
No, you know what they were like? They were like those 2 fucking henchmen from fucking Venture Brothers, Ben.
Yeah, totally. And Farva
we just came for free booze.
And Farva was there too.
What's the other voice like? Isn't the other guy like, yeah,
well,
right?
3 drinks.
Phil couldn't come, so we took his invitation.
Yeah.
We're going to meet the Emperor.
Oh my God, dude. I just clocked Brock Sampson. He's so scary.
Oh my God, I just clocked
right?
Cassian Andor.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. That'll be funny to exactly 3 people.
I don't give a shit.
I'm one of them.
And I'm the other. And welcome to the EBD podcast.
Where we only talk about shit we find funny.
That was sort of the whole idea from the beginning. And
Pretty
incidentally,
much.
folks, this episode is brought to you by Athletic Greens.
It's brought to you by Decoder Pens.
Decoder cylinders.
Yeah. So parties.
Yeah, that was quite a little.
Can we talk about the rave
that was
wedding?
quite
I kind of like the rave wedding. I was kind of like,
I kind of like the
rave's
rave wedding
weird,
too.
But
It was weird. Like when Mothma was like fucking getting down, I was like, bro, she is fucking tripping hard on something.
moves,
dude.
too.
Like it was cool. Fuck yeah.
Were they drinking that weird drink where you dissolve like a worm in
Sure.
club soda? That was like from the first season.
space drinks,
Is
dude.
that what
yeah,
they were
totally.
doing? I don't remember.
I presume. Yeah, I don't know.
You just simply dissolve this worm into this club soda, and then it gets you drunk.
Okay, dude.
Sure.
Weird floating DJ droid orb thing.
Yeah.
Was there a floating DJ?
There was.
droid
There was a
situation?
floating DJ droid.
Mm-hmm.
That was still in the period I think where I was struggling. But yeah, right on.
Yeah, they took Sandy Connor's brain, and stuck it in a droid, and it floats in the middle of the room, playing Diff Diff.
Can you imagine two things? Like A, if the Uba droid was the DJ droid. and B,
Juba, yes.
somebody needs to take the sample of the robot going Uba, Uba, and make it into some
Make a
kind
track out of it?
electronic
That can
dance
be done.
track. Yeah,
You could make one with your new sample pad or whatever.
Benny, you should do that, man.
Benny, here's a project to do that with all that spare time you have.
Yeah, there you go.
Uba, 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 Uba.
Like put a huge echo on it and just have it go.
Uba, ba, ba, ba.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, 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 ba, 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 ba.
Exactamundo.
My instinct would be to just put one in,
Yeah,
put
okay.
one
The
in
whole
for
thing.
like a giant buildup where it
Yes.
stops and you just hear
Yeah.
and then
And then it
kicks
just
back in again.
explodes. Yes, totally. I like that.
Mhm.
All right, so we're kind of all over the place, but
Yeah. That's normal.
That's fine. Anything else about Mon Mothma getting freaky at the
getting jiggy with it.
Freaky deaky.
the wedding, or just the fact that it happened, or
Yeah, I don't know. I brought it up because it was kind of weird, but I actually don't know if I have much to say about it. I mean, it was kind of like, I suppose the moment, it's very obvious, but the moment is like, I really like that line where she goes up to Skarsgård, and is like, yo, you know my like childhood friend, he's like kind of fucking freaking out. And Luthen's like, yeah, we're going to pretty much gonna have to kill him. And she's like, I don't know what you mean. And he's like, well, isn't that nice for you? You know, like just her realizing how fucking real the shit was, I think. Like, I don't know. The dancey shit's kind of weird and kind of lame, but like I'm like willing to just be like whatever because of just how fucked up it would be for her as the like high level senator who's not involved in the actual trenches and the blood, getting a taste of like her mate's gonna get fucking got.
I feel
was
like
interesting.
I mean, if I'm being totally honest, like the dance part of it, like when she really starts like tripping out and just like flailing around, like I really liked that part of it. The rest of that thread, I was just I was restless, you know, like I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Why is like what are we doing here? Like what is this all about? How does this tie in? Like, yes, I get that Luthen went there and it was like, hey, we got to kill your bro, but I mean, again, maybe it was just the pacing, and I was just kind of like, you know, I really want to watch it
Needs
again
to rewatch
and,
the whole
and
thing.
just really sit and try to absorb it some more, you know, because I know that the viewing was sort of, or at least the first part of it was colored by that or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know, you know.
I mean, there was that other bit too where it was a bit on the nose, I guess, but the scene where Mothma was talking to her daughter and was like, my arranged marriage was kind of fucked up, and I wish my mom had said this. And then when she says the thing, the daughter's like, I wish you were drunk. It was just like so rough,
Yeah.
So I guess like the formality of the arranged marriage thing and the fact that Mothma had an arranged marriage with the whatever random boy band dude she's married to.
Totally.
It's kind of interesting.
I mean, I guess it was. I think I was feeling more like, I want to see like stuff that's like related to the main story. Like I didn't want to see like, a little side thread about like the wedding and her daughter and, the problems her daughter's trying to pick out a new speeder, like I just was like, whatever with that, So,
sure. But Mothma literally sacrificing her family for the cause is relevant, like that's pretty.
That is definitely relevant. Yes. Yeah.
Like giving her daughter to a gangster's boy for political purposes is pretty fucking hardcore. And
is
like
that
the
what
fact
it
that
was?
Yeah. Like so in season 1 at the
100%.
end, she's like, I need to fund the rebellion, and the guy's like, well, I've got a son, so she's really conflicted about it all,
Right.
It's not what she wants. It's what she feels like she has to do.
She has to do it, yeah. I mean, it's like couldn't be more obvious. Like the whole point of the show is everyone sacrifices everything. And that's the depressing layer, but it's also the layer that you're most like, oh, yeah, like it's worth it, like even at the end.
Sure.
When Cassian's talking to that Willman guy, the dude that was hanging out with Ghost Dog, huffing fucking gasoline, was like, yo, Luthen's dead, but he made it worth it. Like the amount of but it's worth it at the end, I think, are justifiable and the point,
Sure. 100%. And I did not get like that whole scene with Saw when they're like huffing the exhaust. Like I did not get what
I like
the fuck
that
was going
a lot,
on.
actually.
I'm not saying I didn't like it. I just was like, what is going on here, dude? Like, are they like breathing in radiation? Like, what the hell is going? I just was like confused. I was like, this is fucking weird. Why are we spending time on this?
I liked
Can you
Saul's.
Can you enlighten me?
Well, I'm not even gonna, be masturbatory about it, but I did like Saul's quote in there where he's like, "We're the fuel." We're the thing that's getting used up to make this happen. Because I feel like that's like it's such a meat grindery idea of everyone sacrificing everything for. I mean, Luthen says it in his big monologue in the first season. He's like, I'm blazing for a sunset or a sunrise I'll never see. Like it's very poetic and it's very propagandistic and it's very like the greater good and shit. But I don't know, just that meta of them all sacrificing everything reminds me of the hero worship of the World War II vets who sacrificed everything so that Nazis could be defeated. That kind of shit, which is an alternate form of propaganda, but.
Right, but I'm asking you a question. Like, what were they doing in that scene? Like, I was like, what in the hell are they doing? Were they breathing something in?
Yeah, it's like the toxic fumes of the fuel is toxic and addictive and corrosive and can fuck you up.
And so is that what fucked Saw all up?
Yeah,
but
evidently.
Did we ever find that out?
He was exposed to it as a youth, being like a minor or whatever, and then had this weird addiction and issue with it. He was fucking crazy, and I like that he was crazy.
But I think that's what is. I guess what I'm driving at is like, is that what turned him crazy?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
or made him crazy.
I guess that is the case.
Okay,
same. Like
bananas.
The whole Whitaker stuff would have just been cut from any other film. The fact that they had so much room to just do all this weird shit, I'm on board. I'm here for it, but Nazi Seinfeld and then, Ghost Dog huffing fucking gasoline.
Sure.
I'm here for
it. Saw Palmetto.
I don't know. I mean, there's the Luthen Clea kind of thing, and then there's the Cassian Bix thing. How'd you guys feel about Bix getting to take out that doctor? I thought that was a little bit on the nose, but like I'm happy for her or whatever.
I thought that was pretty intense.
Her drug addiction
you can,
bits and like getting was interestingly handled. I liked that she was realistically portrayed as having a serious difficulty with all that stuff. Yeah,
sure. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was good. You know, it's always sort of satisfying in a weird way to see like sort of vindication, revenge like that. You know,
it was
especially
a bit Hollywood,
of something. Well, I guess so, man. But it was like, you know,
the walking away from the exploding building was very Hollywood.
Literally.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Otherwise,
right.
you know, I was like, oh, shit. Like I wasn't quite sure what was going on, and then I was like, oh, this is really happening. Like,
yeah, and she's just like, "Fuck
this
you,
is
man.
great.
Like, I'm here for it. Like, cool." She's just a bit. It's a bit unrealistic in this universe.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I thought like, yeah, the walking away from the building thing was way more Hollywood than that. You know, like.
Well, it's the same.
I don't know. It's like she was clearly. It would be one thing if they didn't really like explain it, but we spent a lot of time seeing how messed up she was from that whole experience, man. You know, which is like, yeah, then it's definitely justified. You know,
I mean, how would you feel if you'd had several root canals unnecessary root canals unanesthetized?
Thank you, Ben.
I would very much kill the dentist.
I would kill that fucking guy.
Yeah. The rapey Imperial dude on the grass planet and her just blasting him with a space shotgun was pretty fun. She fucked him up good, dude.
The what with a space shotgun? Say it again.
When Bix fights off the rapey guy, the like Imperial guy that's trying to assault her, and like just clocks him with a wrench a few times, and then he blasts his mate with that space shotgun. It was just like, fuck yeah.
That was a little crazy, man. I was like, holy shit.
It's very
shit.
Nazi-esque.
Well, it is, but I don't know.
It was hardcore, and was it necessary?
Sorry.
I don't know, but it was just like the piss poor behavior is. I don't know. I feel like there's something there. Like it was worth doing.
Right. I mean, like it just like I liked it a lot because it got so intense so quickly. And like again, like we don't really see that kind of violence in Star Wars. In fact, this
never.
And I could be wrong, but I believe this is the first time I saw blood in a Star Wars. I could be off about that.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Like, when Luthen puts the knife in himself, and then like when she beats the officer, there's like the dude gets bloody. I was like, whoa. You know, and I didn't really think much of it at the time, but then later I was like, oh, wow, wait, this is Star Wars. Like, that was really intense for Star Wars, you know?
Yeah.
Like, rapey shit with, like, you know, a solid beatdown.
Yeah, the guy was a piece of shit. I'm glad they're just not afraid to do stuff like that. Like, it's not that sanitized of a universe. Like, that kind of shit can happen, and it can be, you know, maybe not meaningful.
The Nazi apologists were really upset about that one.
Were they?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean, Ben?
Some, internet people came forward and were like, oh, the Empire would never do that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And by internet people, I mean Nazi apologist internet people.
Got
Idiots. It's a thing that's never really covered, generally speaking, is just how horrible wars are in that regard. You know, like just all wars have had that type of atrocity happen on a very constant basis. And like nobody wants to fucking like deal with that reality. And it's just like I don't know. I think it was a good choice to have some of that reality here, and I think it served more than just being some sensational shit. Like I think it was worth it for the character of Bix and her arc. You know, it's fucked up, but
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it was necessary. Sure.
Well, maybe not necessary, but
it's very intense for Star Wars, but it sets the stakes, right?
Yeah,
I
think that's right.
We're not really, we know like what's going on with like Darth Vader, and like we see these grand things in the movies, like blowing up Alderaan, etc. But like you don't see the little
things,
day to day indiscretions that chisel away at people and make them finally go like, I've fucking had enough of this shit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So I think that's why that's there, is to sort of let you know, like these people aren't just like well, we just kind of don't like the Empire and like we don't like their politics. So like, I don't know, we're just gonna fight them.
Yeah.
You know? It puts you in a position where it's like, no, these people are fucking out of control and power hungry and just fucking they need to be stopped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is interesting. And it is very, very different way that I found that scene with the Gorman singing their national anthem before that intentionally manufactured massacre. Like, despite the fact of how sad it is, the futility of all of the Gorman stuff and the fact that they were played by the Empire the whole time, that like, what the fuck are you guys even doing to us? Like, what the fuck? We're still here and we're still human thing was really powerful, you know? And yet it still results in the entire planet being fucking destroyed, just like an Alderaan, or just like, you know, it's so crushing.
Yeah.
It's just so crushing.
Wait, which part is so crushing? Sorry.
The Gorman story.
The Gormans getting like decimated by Moff Tarkin, that part?
No, so you know,
or the part that we actually get to see.
The part we get to see. The part where it's like we need a scapegoat to be able to literally destroy this planet. Like in that scene in the Eagle's Nest, they're like, yeah, if we mine this place, like we probably will destroy the core of the planet because it's a really aggressive technique. And they're like, oh well. And then they need this rebel faction to play against from a propaganda point of view. And it's just the fact that these local rebels and the world that they build out, and it's like the futility of it because of it being a setup from the get-go, mixed with the fact that they're all there in the thing at the end, singing their national anthem, being like, fuck you, but they're just powerless to stop it. It's super crushing, you know, like it's just,
yeah, it was
brutal.
It was. I mean, sorry, I'm just like thinking while I'm listening to you. I think like it all really comes together at the end, you know, like the various different threads and why they're important, you know, and I think that's why I was so sort of, you know, kind of meh about the pacing and, you know, it was like the wheat planet and like the wedding thing. And then it's like Gorman was like pretty good. Like I was really digging like the Cyril parts, and then, you know, it started ramping up. I'm sounding like a guy. I'm sounding when I'm saying this, I feel like a typical guy. There's not enough bombs and shit. You know what I mean? Like that was definitely not the case. Like I love good drama. I think everybody that listens to this probably understands that, you know, but like it was just, I don't know what it was. It was like the pacing, or I was just like, why is this here? You know, like, why are we here? What are we talking about? Like, okay, so they want to mine some like calcite. Like, okay, great. You know, and then I really just, I don't know what it was. Maybe I'm just dumb. And then it all starts to come together at the end, you know? But it's like thinking back on it now, like the Gorman stuff was, yeah, it was really messed up, right?
It's
Like
the willingness
essentially
to destroy a people.
Like, not just the people, but like the entire planet. They're just like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, we need to destroy this entire planet to get this mineral because we're going to build like a thing that can destroy other planets very easily, you know? Like, that's like a crazy, crazy amount of power, dude.
Yeah.
And like malevolence. It's just like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
Like, what, you know?
And
so,
obviously
I mean,
the
whatever.
Emperor
That's
is malevolent, but, you know.
Sure.
I think that Cyril is the most interesting piece, where like Cyril actually believes in truth and justice and whatever from his perspective. But from the outside perspective, it's like, bro, you're part of some pretty shady fucking shit. And it's not until he's there at the end that he realizes that he's like, no, actually, I got fucked here and this is wrong in his own way.
Yeah, Cyril gets played right along
100%.
The Gorman, you know, like he gets played right along with them.
Well, the top douchey guy there, top Dennis douchey was he says that like literally at one point, you know, he's like, Cyril can never know.
Yeah, keep him out of it. Yeah. Well, I thought that they were going to burn Cyril and burn Miro. You know, I thought that it was like, you know, the Prendergasts and fucking whatever of the world need a scapegoat later because they're all trying to get to the top of the Emperor's fucking cool kid table. But I kind of like that just isn't what they needed to do here. You know, I like that it's like Cyril realizing that shit was twisted and actually it's not what he thought it was. It's not truth and justice. It's actually really fucked up. And like Miro fucked him. And then Miro... Yeah, I guess like there's a conversation with Denise Goff, who played Miro, Deirdre Miro, who's like, everybody thinks they're the hero. You know, like Deirdre thinks that she is doing good. You know, that scene in the end where Deirdre's talking to Luthen and is like, you guys just want chaos. And she thinks that she's actually like doing fucking good stuff. And that's so often the case, you know, in reality as well. Like so often these fucking ridiculous dictators are thinking they're actually in the right, you know, around the world.
100%, man.
I don't know.
People get behind ideals, dude. Yeah, for sure.
Dedra was like raised, like her parents were killed and she was like raised in the Empire. So she's fully brainwashed, Kool-Aid drinking, you know,
fully acclimated. Yes.
She has no she has no outside perspective whatsoever, you know, so of course she thinks she's right.
In addition to the fact that she's like, well, the Empire raised me. Like, they took care of me when nobody else did. Like, when my parents were dead.
Her life was chaos and the Empire's order.
Going to have, like, a debt of gratitude in the way, like, a child would to, like, parents or foster parents or step parents. Like, that's an intense bond right there, for sure, man. I think which makes sense. Like, she freaks out when they're like, yes, you're under arrest. And she's like, what the fuck?
What?
You know? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Cyril does
in the
too.
no footies prison.
Right?
He got played so hard, and it totally justified him freaking out and trying to choke her, like at the end, you know? Like he's I don't know, he turned in the first season, I was like, God, this guy's so irritating. And then like in the second season, you just like he's like your favorite character. Like he's so good, man. You know, like all his dynamics and all the things that he was doing and like his belief in truth and justice, you know, and getting played the way that he did, like it was great. I loved it, man. You know, it was fantastic. Yeah. It was always kind of like, I don't know. There was a kind of a vibe to him, like, you know, he was like that neighbor kid or whatever. You'd be like, oh, you know what? You can come on the next mission, our next secret mission. You know what I mean? And then it's like, all right, hey, we got a secret mission for you, man. We want you to go downtown and spy on these dudes. And then he's downtown with the binoculars, you know. They're doing this and they're doing that. You know, it's like I kind of felt like that's how they treated him, even though he's like, to me anyway, was like a totally like capable person, man. Like he seemed like such a stiff kind of bean counter, but like he ended up, you know, like as we learn more about him in the second season, like he's totally capable, right? Physically capable and like, you know, capable of leading and capable of like a lot of things, man. So it really like just expounded his character this whole second season, and it was fantastic, man. I was bummed when he died. You know, like he was one of the great threads in there, man, for sure. You know, and he was like one of the only ones that I was like, man, I wonder what would happen to him if he hadn't died right there. Like he probably would have, like, you know, he probably would have thrown his shoulders back, dude, and, you know, walked to Yavin, been like, yo,
I don't know. Rose? I kind of like that he didn't, though.
No, I'm saying if he had survived, you know, it's like I very, very well could see him doing something like that, or not. I mean, who the hell knows? Like, the point is that he was the only one that I kind of speculated about, because it by the time he choked her out and then died, I was just like, you know, I was there for it. I was there with him, 100%. Yes, sir.
And then Cassian's like, who the fuck are you?
That was so good, dude. Dude.
He's like, what?
Cyril rage quits so fucking hard, dude. He just sees him and just barrels into the fucking... I love that Cassian's like, I don't even know who this is. Like, oh, God, that was just beautiful.
Yeah, poor Cyril. I mean, you know, mommy issues.
Well, clearly.
That's what happens when you have an unloving mother, I guess. Constantly trying to prove yourself, and you constantly have like imposter syndrome, you know, even though you're quite capable, like you just never
Totally.
are able to get a grip.
Damn, I love his mother's actor.
When the mom meets Deidre, I was like fully
yeah.
expecting her like any moment to be like, "Did I ever tell you about the time Cyril crapped in his cereal when he was a kid?"
100%. 100%. I love that lady so
Catherine
much.
Hunter is so good. I don't know that I ever recognized her before, but she's apparently a big deal.
I don't know.
Yeah, same.
British
she was in
actress.
Harry Potter, I guess. I haven't seen Poor Things yet, but she's in that too.
Wait, what?
I did see Poor Things.
Yeah, was it any good? I've heard it's very fucking weird, but good.
It's a
movie.
It's good. It's a little, I don't know. It's like one of those like Born Sexy Yesterday kind of things, you know.
Yeah.
No, that's like a thing where like a character that like, you know, is ends up in a like that is like basically like a child is thrust into all these like you know, hypersexualized situations. But that's sort of the point of it, I guess.
It is, but it's kind of weird. Yeah. She was in Oft Loved Rome
Anyway.
for a few episodes. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that one. I'm curious if she was recognizable in it. Do you remember her from it?
She's not even in the top billing. I'm looking.
No,
now.
for Poor Things. Do you remember her in Poor Things?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't. I said that I didn't remember her.
Oh, sorry.
Like she's not even in like the top
tier.
There she is.
Yeah. Okay. And then she's in Megalopolis as well, which is that new weird ass Coppola flick, which I'll probably check out.
I do remember her.
She's fucking awesome.
Yeah. She's awesome at being shitty.
Yeah. I liked who I really identified with
dear. Have some
the version of
Loops and blue milk.
I identified with the Cassian where he's like, "Yo, Bix, I'm done, dude." And then just how kind of much of a bummer it was that Bix was like, "No, you need to stay in the game," and like leaves him and stuff. Like that's like it was tough to see him having already sacrificed so much just to have to go that extra mile, and then eventually culminating in Rogue One where he actually sacrifices everything, you know? So I think the fact that all of the characters do sacrifice everything is just the best and worst part about this show. Worst in the sense that it's depressing.
You mean the show or the movie or both?
Both.
About the entire story arc, probably?
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I think that's one of the greatest strengths of it, man. That's that was what was so like one of the
so
huge
surprising
things about Rogue One was like, hey, guess what? Everybody dies at the end, and it's okay. Everybody's going to be all right. You know?
Yeah, it was a huge surprise watching the flick. We haven't done an episode, as far as I can tell, on Rogue One.
I scrolled through our entire list before, and we have not done that.
But we've talked about it a few times in like segments. I think
Ben mentioned when he said, "Oh yeah, I remember talking to so and so about it." Like I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right," but I still couldn't.
We've definitely talked about it from time to time. Luthen, dude, Skarsgård.
Yeah, what about that? Let's talk about the good old pirate Skarsgård himself. I mean, he kind of like
Skarsgård.
He kind of was like, I don't know. In the first season, I was like, I don't know. I was slightly annoyed at his sort of mysteriousness, you know. But like, the ship was awesome, and like, you know, there's this and that and the other thing, and like, I don't know. He was a cool character, man. Like, I really came to like him. I kind of, I don't know. I feel weird saying this because he was in so much of it, but I kind of feel like I wish there was more of him. Like, like I don't know what I'm trying to describe. Like, it's like we got to see him, but I felt like it was always like he was like around some pillar being like, "Hey, we need this guy. We got to meet this guy. I need you to bring this guy here so we can meet him." You know what I mean? Like, that was always that is sort of.
I need you to bring this guy here so we can meet him.
Or he's doing the flamboyant art
His
gallery.
name is
dude.
Diego Luna.
So I feel like there was like, it was kind of like that, you know, and like I like that flashback scene in the war, and like then when he found like the girl, you know, which
Clea.
What was her name?
Clea. Yeah.
Clea,
She was
like Clea, but Clea.
Kleya.
Yeah, Clea.
Right.
I like that.
Clea. So
that
I like
flashback.
that a lot too, and it was like it kind of let you in on a little bit more development with him. Like I don't know, it's weird that I'm saying this because it's not like we get like all this like deep backstory on Mon Mothma or like some of these other characters or even Cassian, you know. But we get. I feel like a little.
He's
bit
more mysterious,
more of it. Yeah, he is, you know, and I don't know. Like he's definitely a cool character, and like I don't know, Cassian kind of says it at the end, you know. Everybody's just like, he comes back and he's like, "Oh, they're talking about some." I can't get it out of my head.
They're talking about
the weapon, a Death Star. Stupid. It doesn't even sound half as good as Ben's.
No, it's fine.
But like, you know. And everybody's like literally like rolling their eyes like, okay, and wait. No. They're like, who told you this? And he's like, it was Luthen. And they're all like,
oh,
okay,
Luthen.
And how many drugs was Luthen on when he told you?
Yeah, that one dude in the corner is like pish posh. Like, oh my God, Luthen.
Yeah, right. And then Admiral Akbar Brothers like, it's a trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Totally.
And it's like, you know, and then the other guy's like, you know, can we finally turn the lights up in this room? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, why is it dark in here?
Why does the circular council room have to be dark except for the table, you know?
And the one dude's like,
so anyway,
excuse me, everybody, we don't have a quorum. It's like, shut up, Timmy.
And then Benjamin Bratt's like, here, you can use one of my little dental code cylinders.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whatever. Anyway, like they all kind of roll their eyes and they're like, oh my God, okay.
But that's key, like the fact that they all
but hold on.
hold on.
I'm getting at something. So what I'm getting at is that like Cassian really like kind of lays it straight at the end. You know, he's like, dude. He's like, you can say whatever you want about him. Like, I didn't always get along with him, but he is literally the reason why we're all here. He put everybody together, got everything in motion, everything moving, connected a lot of these key things together. Like, you know, and that's it. That kind of sums up his entire character, man. You know, he's like, I wouldn't quite say a puppet master, you know, but he's like a,
But he wasn't here. He wasn't idolized in the rebellion, which I liked a lot. He was like hated.
No, that's what I'm saying. You know, he was kind of like a matchmaker. You know what I mean? And he did things out of necessity, not because like, oh, hey, Cassian's gonna love when I do this. You know, like he didn't give a fuck about that. He was just like, whatever, fucking hate me, but this has to happen because these fuckers are evil. You know, and like I dug that. I dig that kind of character, man.
Yeah, yeah. The scene with him and Clea, like the flashback stuff with him and Clea was really interesting. Like the fact that he was a soldier that seemingly was participating in the genocide of Clea's village and finds her and, you know,
she's ex-Imperial.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what it was? He's ex-Imperial? Yeah. Okay.
So he has that Cyril moment, I guess, where he recognizes that this is not good and he does make the change that Cyril doesn't. And I don't think Cyril would have if he lived. But he does make the change, which I like. I like that.
Sure.
I like that he has his hands dirty and tries to clean them for his entire life. And maybe he succeeds, but he probably doesn't.
I've heard it. Well, yeah, there you go. I've heard it explained more like he's trying to make it up to Clea. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, she's the real reason that all of this is happening. Essentially, is, you know, he's trying to make it up to her. You know, they like they have this weird relationship, and she like hates his guts.
Yeah,
because she killed his family, killed her family, but she also loves him because he's trying to make amends. You know,
right?
That's his entire motivation. Is he's really just trying to make amends to her.
Yeah, that's a crazy. Yeah, that's a heavy, crazy bag of shit to be carrying around. Go ahead, finish, Benny. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, he also, you know, sees the you know, like when he finds her, like it dawns on him finally that like what he's doing, you know, what the Empire is doing is fucked up. Right. As well, you know, so it's not like he's that's the only thing, but like the main thing
is a like, deeper motivation. Yeah,
their relationship is his real motivation.
Yeah,
sure.
And her hard-headedness in the flashback scenes, and him trying to mentor her a bit, was really, I don't know. It's just, I like that it's like Luthen in season 1 or whatever is an art dealer, and there's this just random fucking assistant, you know, who like walks in and helps out. Turns out is like a really interesting heart of the whole thing, which I love the dynamic between those two.
Yeah.
And then she comes good in the fucking hospital heist and fuck shit up, man. Like,
what do you mean comes good?
Like she's just like a shitburger art assistant in season 1, episode 3, but by the end she's like fucking in yellow scrubs murdering stormtroopers so she can go and fucking snuff Luthen because it just needs to happen. And it's just like it's such a cool exploration of that character and the dynamic between her and Luthen. Like
she's not just the art assistant, dude. She's the fucking switchboard operator. She's the galactic switchboard operator.
Benny,
the pan-galactic switchboard operator.
Bleep bloop operator.
Fair enough. That was a fucking cool bleep bloop, dude.
What, the Morse code bleep bloop?
The little like copper
switchboard?
coil circle switchboard. Yeah, thank you. No, I mean the Morse code one was cool, but the giant switchboard was awesome.
I like the switchboard, dude. It was definitely, switchboard was the right word for it. I mean, I don't know.
It was bleepy and bloopy.
It was definitely the kind of main bleep bloop in the whole thing, sort of. But
it was.
I like the switchboard nature of it for sure. You know, and like he'd be like, "Oh, did you pick?" Like, I don't know. Star Wars is so interesting the way the technology works. You know what I mean? It's like that hasn't essentially changed since the original one came out, and I like that. You know what I mean? It's not like It's not like there's like floating screens everywhere and all kinds of crazy bullshit. Like that would just irritate me to no end. But like,
no doubt,
you know, when Luthen walks in and he's like, "Did you pick up anything?" You know, and she's like, "I've been listening all day." You know, like a real switchbour operator. Like, you know,
there was some dumb shit from time to time in the show. Like she's turning in and she's like radio dial, and then it's like what was the gangster dude that Mothma's daughter married? I can't remember his fucking name. Hang on.
Gorian Shaw, the space pirate.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember his fucking name.
We're gonna have to stop soon. My ass hurts.
Yeah, dude, stand back up again. Well, she tunes in and it's like 343 Johnny's radio station. Hey, here's a really important plot point about the John story arc. Bye. Anyway, that's not going anywhere.
We should do the whole fucking thing like this.
Oh, yeah, audio's great.
Yeah, sounds good. You should just do like what YouTubers are weirdly doing now and get like what's supposed to be a lapel mic, but so it's like really tiny, but hold it between like your index finger and your thumb.
What the
like
fuck
hold it really
is
close
up
to your
with
mouth.
that,
Shoot
dude?
people.
I know. I've seen that.
Yeah,
it's like this, right? It's like
with my.
It's like this. It's like this pen cap,
Yeah.
right? If I was,
But it's like got
standing
a
here, it'd be like,
fucking gerbil's
Hey, guys.
pelt on it.
Right.
Like the
yeah,
way-
exactly. It's
yeah.
got a little. It's got like a
Gerbil's
miniature
pelt.
tribble stuck to the stuck over the top
Miniature
of it.
tribble.
Exactly.
Hey guys, it's me again. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel.
Smash that like button. Are we bitsing and bobsing now, or where are we at? Is there any other like broad stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I think now that we've talked about her and we've talked about Luthen, I think we can put it to bed.
Mm.
There's so much content.
so
We
much
could talk for like
that we could
4
cover,
hours
yeah.
about this, but I don't have the wherewithal to do that. Bitsing and bobsing.
Some decent action, to your point of there maybe wasn't a lot of it, but when it happened, it was pretty interesting. Like the heist on Gorman was cool. When they, you know.
The heist, like the one that Cyril was spying on, that one? When that one girl dies from getting hit with the
Dumbass's
electric
fucking gun,
mine or whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked
Bell's girlfriend.
Yeah.
It was very like sort of spy thrillery, you know, and it's sort of pacing and tone, you know, like which I like, you know, and the whole like battle on Gorman, I don't know, that stuck in my head pretty good. It was pretty intense, man. That was really good. You know, like I think like in my heart of hearts, I would have like really wished for like more creatures, but I understand why, because it was like
Yeah, there was a decent amount.
It's TV show.
Sorry, just
like there was.
When you were talking about the
creatures.
Gorman thing, can we just go back to that? You mean in the square when the massacre, the real time massacre happens? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. When that
was really well handled. There was some real
up.
great tension in there.
Totally, man. And like the bellhop guy from the hotel, like throwing the thermal grenade, and like it's just all kinds of cool little bits. And there's Cassian trying to snipe Deidre. It was just crazy. There was a lot going on there. It was good.
Cassian's first trip when he's the fashion designer. I loved his like Bono glasses and his fucking suit and shit.
Oh, dude, Varian Sky, totally.
And the coffee shop scene where she sits down and he's like, "Don't fucking trust me. You don't know who I am," and then like turns it back on again.
Yeah.
God damn, man,
that was cool. That was really good.
Bits.
That was some good bits.
That was some good stuff. He's a good shit.
Got like natural preservatives or some shit.
Shout out to the rah-rah Nazi senator giving a rah-rah Nazi speech on the Senate floor. When the line that really stuck with me that I thought was cool is like someone came up with a slogan for the empire, a galaxy of worlds, a galaxy assembled an empire. I really like that line. I don't know if you remember that one, but
yeah. I don't remember that at all. Are you talking about Mon Mothma or some other?
Well, no, it was like another scene, I think, when it was like all of the Gorman propaganda trying to make it seem like it was the Gorman's fault. And there was just some creature, senator, alien standing up being like, "I think the Empire's great." Sucking dick on the Senate floor. And he had that line, which I thought was really good.
There was a Star Wars character that had that exact voice. And I don't
pretty much
remember what it was. Probably from Mandalorian or something, man.
Yeah.
That was funny.
You got any other? You guys got any other?
It was that maybe it was that chowder joint on Mon Calamari.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it episode
that Mando went into?
Good one. Yeah.
Right? That was where he first met up with Bo-Katan.
It was episode 1.
No.
The chowder joint.
No, I'm thinking of the chowder joint on unless I'm completely just...
No, he ends up underwater at one stage on that boat.
Yeah. They go on the boat with Bo-Katan. And
I think it is Mon Calamari.
I think you're right.
He's like, you do not follow the way. She's like, oh. She's like, oh, you're a child of the watch.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah, so we don't believe in that. And you're done.
I kind of want to do like a Kingpin mashup where instead of it being a Amish dude, it's a child of the way Mandalorian who's just really good at bowling.
It's an interesting idea.
Oh, okay.
Pennsylvania's not far from here. We could revisit those sets. I could dress up as a Mandalorian. I could do the bowling. No problem.
Yeah, and the Viking armor bowling chick needs to be in it. She needs to be a bowler.
Viking armor bowler.
Your favorite, Twinkies are always good on a pauldron.
Oh. The armorer.
Yeah, she's great.
Have you ever taken off your helmet? Have you ever given anyone helmet?
A Beskar bowling ball bag, dude. I'm so here for all of this. Anyways,
are you kidding
any
me,
other bits
dude?
or bobs?
I'm thinking of
Have you ever been in a hot tub?
I'm trying. Can you imagine the armor?
You can leave your helmet on in the hot tub.
Or she's naked in the hot tub
with the helmet on, dude.
Just the helmet.
There is definitely porn content out there with that.
Right? When you mentioned the
exists.
Amish people, I was picturing that song they play in Kingpin, it's like kind of like a strumming.
Oh yeah, the harmonica blues traveler song.
Like no. When they first show you like the Amish community, and it's like you see everybody like working in the fields. It's a little montage. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's like working in the fields, like and it's like in the montage you see like Mandalorian in like his full gear, like hoeing in the field.
Yeah, but he's got like a black suit on or whatever, hammering
boards together. Yeah, but he's got the Mandalorian armor, and then he wipes his helmet brow.
Exactly.
Whatever, dude. It's stupid. Whatever. Just stupid shit like that.
All right. Anyways, I don't know how. I'm sorry that I got us on that.
Woo.
Any other bets or
Because you said I want to see a mashup between Kingpin and
fault.
Mandalorian. So there you go.
Right.
And we're gonna find out if this makes it into the final show. Go ahead.
back to the actual subject at hand.
Thank you, Ben. Do you have any bits or bobs? Go ahead.
Yeah. What about speaking, as you were just talking about, that like imperial slogan in the Senate or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what about Mon Mothma's actual
speech?
Senate speech,
fucking
and
great,
the subsequent, escape.
The escape was great.
With Cassian.
I actually
Andor.
didn't like the speech at all. I didn't think it hit hard enough.
Stick with me if you want to live.
Yes.
That was great.
Did you watch any of the
whole-
making of shit, Benny? Kev said he didn't. There was a couple of features on Disney.
But I agree, like, responding to you, Ben, like, the speech she gave was so good.
I didn't like it
was
at all.
Fantastic. What?
Why? Yeah, I didn't. I just thought, well, I suppose like when I watched it, I was like, it didn't, like Luthen's speech to the mole in season 1. I was like, fuck me, that's good. Like, it was just so good. And then Mothma's speech, I just thought she stood up and, like, it's nothing against Mothma, but like she stood up and she's like, yeah, that sucked. You guys shouldn't have done that. The Empire sucks and the Emperor sucks. And it's like, it just didn't hit hard enough. And then in the making of thing, it turns out Gilroy asked the actor Genevieve O'Reilly if she wanted him to write the entire speech. And she's like, yeah. So I guess he wrote like a 20, 30-minute speech and she did the whole thing. And then they cut it. And so I'd actually be like in Kev fashion, I'd love to know what the whole speech was. Because I feel like that's a moment where it could have been really powerful.
About that too.
I was fine with it. Like, I didn't hate it. I wasn't like, this sucks. But I was kind of like, okay, cool. Like, the point is that she stands up and starts the rebellion, quote unquote, publicly. But
I found it to be quite poignant because.
Did you? I might need to revisit it.
There's like a whole bit where she talks about like the death of truth. And
I liked.
And all of that. And I was like, God damn it, that's fucking hitting hard.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's trying to like, I had to like actually just look at a transcript because as of course, as per usual with this stuff, I watched it like fucking, a month ago or like 3 weeks ago
flies
or
out of your
whatever.
head. Totally. No, yeah, the death of truth line was very, very good. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Sure. But maybe just broadly, I'd love to know more about that speech. And then the getaway shit at the end was fucking great, man. Her reaction to Diego Luna blasting the people and stuff. Yeah.
The whole escape from the thing, and like I loved how like this sort of secret phrase for everybody was like, "Are you alone? I have friends everywhere." Yeah. Like, I like that a lot too. And like just like them escaping from the whole Senate complex was just fantastic, man.
Yeah.
And like there's that other team, and the other team was with Organa, but they were secretly with the Empire. Like, that was like some really good subterfuge. And then the dopey driver's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" Pew 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 pew.
He just fucking Indiana Joneses him,
blasts him so hard. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a little better than that. He was like, he calls his name out, and he's like, "I got her. We got her." Right,
just
like he was with the Empire. Yeah. Pew pew pew.
Just to distract.
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah, it was intense. And
it was very intense.
Yeah, it was like one of the more kind of actiony sequences,
No doubt. Yeah, it was really good, man. Yeah, that was really good. What else? I mean, obviously the whole K2 thing was great, dude.
Great. And then playing like
that
fucking
same
space
like
poker there, trying to like
that was great.
Yes.
Yeah, I really liked seeing like obviously any of the people from Rogue One, like the general on Yavin. Like that guy was great. He was the only thing I know that guy from is he played like 5 parts in Cloud Atlas.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I can't remember if either of you guys are fans
the
of
dude
that
that's always like trying to stop him from taking a ship and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, because that's what generals do, Ben. They basically prevent
like
their
camp dad,
right?
Like,
right.
Hey,
what are you doing?
Generals,
get out of there!
Yeah, right. Generals in the Star Wars universe, their main task is to sort of make sure that they keep grounding their like star quarterback captain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, what are you doing? You can't
Listen
take
to
the
Coach.
U-wing fighter. It's
Coach didn't say you
fucking-
could
God.
do that.
Bro, we didn't even file a fucking flight plan and shit. And
But I love how
you're not-
Cassian
you're
takes
not
like
cleared
50,
for any of this.
50 spacecraft, you know, like every day he's like, God, it's Cassian again. You know, like it just
Right?
it happens like 9 times.
Every single time, Cassian's just like, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a fuck
We're
about
going.
your rules.
I don't.
I need a spaceship. I'm going to take it.
Exactly, right?
No doubt.
Told you, we're out of ice cream.
Making a run.
We're going to Hoth. Get some Hoth. Good old Hoth ice cream. Can't be beat. Good old traditional, old-fashioned Hoth ice cream.
I mean, it would be
Go
good.
ahead.
Snow cones, dude. Melshi was the name of the character. He was the sidekick that was with Cassian in the poker scene, and he like does a bunch of the later heists, and he goes and helps save Clea. He's the dude that gets like stunned in the hallway. I didn't realize it until I looked at his IMDb,
Thing?
but one of his photos is him with Andy Serkis in the prison. So he's one of the dudes that escaped the prison with Cassian.
What?
And it's like his right hand dude, and he actually like helps save Clea, and then he's also on the crew that dies in on the beach planet in whatever the fuck movie is. What's the movie we're doing next week?
Rogue One.
Rogue
dildo.
One. He's in the Rogue One crew as well, so that's kind of cool. I like that dude comes
I
all
like
the way
that a
through.
lot. Yes, I like that connectivity.
Duncan Powell
That's
is the
very
guy's
cool.
name.
Duncan Powell.
Duncan Powell, one of the best names ever.
It is a cool name, dude. I don't see him in this list.
Nah, he's here. He was in one of the episode ones. Here, IMDb. It's a link in what's that?
I got IMDb open, dude. I mean, really?
I know, but it's just a link to the dude.
I can find him on my own, Chad.
Dude, I have to shout out like the amount of times in a movie or a book where like a main character runs into somebody or a bad guy and then lets them go instead of just shooting them in the fucking face. I was so happy when Skarsgård killed the mole on that bench. Not because
Dude,
it was just
kinda
like, fuck
wasn't-
yeah, man.
I mean, I like that they went in a different direction, like
It was
that
hardcore.
element of it. But I was like, bro, this guy has so much to talk about. Like, shouldn't we bring him along? You know?
Well, the whole point is like you got to close the fucking holes, man. Like, I'm not saying I condone it, but I think it's a very realistic that Luthen's like, this dude cannot. I said the word Yavin. He can't know that. Like, I've got to fucking take him out, and just does it. And so often it's just like doesn't happen, and then it blows a hole.
You're talking about Supervisor Lonnie Jung,
Exactly.
Richie
Yes.
Cunningham with a
He
mustache.
was great.
Yes, Lonnie Jung. Yeah, there were some pretty good mustaches. in
I
this,
like
by
that
the way.
guy.
There was that giant dude that was like sort of the Delta team leader when they go in to get Clea and Cassian. Like that guy
was
had
cool.
a sick fucking push broom, dude. Did you catch that?
Yeah, dude. And then with
Obviously
his
caught
like
that.
pseudo stormtrooper outfit
Come
that
on.
crew had, I was here for that, dude.
Yeah, and his like
Push broom,
with the-
pseudo stormtrooper cosplay is where it's at.
Yeah, with the local English accent, dude. It sounded
Yeah.
he was looking real tough. That combo was really hitting me.
No doubt.
Yeah, literally. POW, pow. Pow. What's your name? Duncan. But they call me Duncan Pow.
Duncan Pow.
Shout out to
Duncan Dolas.
Cassian's
Duncan Douglas.
entire wardrobe, but mostly his collection of sweet jackets.
Dude,
Benny,
it reminded me
I
so
mean,
hard, Benny, of
right?
our conversation on the front porch of the shack with Cone Bone and potentially others where we discussed the desire to create the Scoundrel brand where we make Star Wars jackets for
Helicopter
use in real
Pete.
life. Yeah.
These are so blown
Helicopter
out. That
Pete
was
was
my
definitely part of that.
idea, dude.
Well, we stole
And
it from you. Then.
Yeah, you did.
You might have been at the shack with us. I remember talking with you and Cone Bone at the shack about it, Benny. Was it just the three of us? I can't remember.
Maybe it was. Maybe I was there. Who knows?
Scoundrel.
Scoundrel. Such a great brand name.
Would definitely have to have a cologne with a weird commercial.
with Cassian Andor.
Or Han Solo, dude. There's many scoundrels in the Star Wars
That's
universe.
It's just like the scene right before Han gets frozen in carbonite, you know?
Oh, hell yeah.
I love you.
I know.
Scoundrel.
and the mist that comes out of the like smoke that comes out of the thing is just the scent. He's just walking through a cloud of the scent.
And then the voiceover comes in. Scoundrel Cologne by Calvin Klein or whatever.
Dude, I have to say,
Cologne.
Or maybe the little head in a jar guy. Maybe the head in the jar guy is the.
Can the head in the jar guy be the cologne? Can there be like a giant pump on top of him?
That's an interesting idea too.
Like he lives in.
He would be.
It's actually his head that creates the infuses the scent.
Yeah.
And he's also the designer of the cologne as well.
He is,
right?
yeah.
What's that? Does that guy have a name, or is he just
head in the jar? He
does have a name.
That is his fucking name. I mean, come on. Jabba dooba doo doo boo.
Oh my god, man, that was
Songs that made the
hit parade. I forgot about that already. That was great.
It was years ago.
Lulio Primoc is his name.
Lulio Primoc. Oh wow, a little nod to Louis Prima there. Okay. It's so funny, dude.
Yeah,
I have what I propose to be the final bit or bob of the show that I'd like to end
All right, go ahead.
Do you guys have any other bits or bobs before we do that?
No. We need to wrap this up.
We need to wrap it.
Sure.
I love the last scene where Bix is walking through the field like Gladiator with the baby and shit. But like for like 2 seconds, I was like, Disney's gonna fucking ruin this, and she's gonna be like,
yeah.
We did it, Lando Calrissian Jr., you know, like have some weird.
God,
do you know what I mean?
That
Like,
would have pissed me off so badly, yes.
So I just had this like moment where it was like, my name is Ray Palpatine, get it? And it's just like, oh my fucking God. You know, like I just don't need to have any more connective tissue. And I just was like, please don't do it. Please don't do it.
I had some horrible thoughts there at the end when I saw her with the baby too. I was like, oh God.
And
Disney has clearly set us up for a potential sequel in the future with Cassian's child.
I was like, ugh. Just think, like hearing that stupid nerd voice in my head doing that. I was like, oh God, I don't want to see that ever. Please don't do stupid shit.
And the whole like the time jump thing makes it such that like I don't want that to be Cassian's child. I don't think that is Cassian's child.
I think it is, but I don't
want
really
it to be.
care. I don't need to know about that. The fucking dude dies, and this arc of story ends after Rogue One.
Yeah.
So, like, why
I'd prefer
do you
if it was
gotta
actually
put that
not
fucking
Cassian's
shit
kid.
in there?
I'd prefer if it was like, you know, she found peace and happiness in a family on fucking Rebel Moon.
No,
planet.
it's got to be his kid because that girl there in the last episode was like, hey, you know, you got to check in on Bex, you know,
Yabba-dabba-doo.
and he was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to check in on Bix.
I'm bad for Bix.
Right? And she was like, I don't know, maybe you want to check in on Bix, you know, might want to say hi.
Wow.
Beaks are for my kids.
Bix are for kids.
Beaks are for kids.
I am choosing to not in my head have that be his kid and have it be someone else's kid because I think that's better.
All right, we've debated that long enough. What else? Great final nugget, Chad. Good job. I mean, final bit or Bob.
Baby Calrissian, dude.
Don't have any.
Cyril lying on the bed like a jellyfish was unscripted, which I like.
I like that.
What was the fucking fuck knuckles head? The like really great ultra baddie in this that gets killed off at the end of the movie. Ben Mendelsohn's character.
Yeah. Director Krennic.
Krennic's finger on top of her head was also unscripted. I loved her reaction to that. Like that little scene with the two of them where he's just like, what the fuck? Really and then dude. Like him grabbing her face and be like, I think we'll figure it out without you. It's like, ouch, dude.
You don't want to choke on your ambitions, Director Krennic.
The only other nug is the scene with Clea as a little girl going to push the button to blow up the bridge. I didn't pick up on the fact that it was Naboo, and that was the first terrorist act on that Luthen chose to do on Naboo because that's where Palpatine's from, which I thought was kind of cool.
Shit. Nice.
I just watched episode 1 at Ethan's request the other day, and I hadn't seen it in probably 20 years, and
wow,
I had no idea that Palpatine was from Naboo. That was weird. He was the senator from Naboo.
Really?
I forgot all about it. Yeah.
He was in the first one. He still
Phantom
is the
Menace.
senator.
He's
he's
the senator from Naboo.
I was more commenting on that you didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I just forgot about it.
I kind of.
I don't really. I like the. I mean, now that the new trilogy's out, like they can eat giant bags of penises. But episode 1 was always my least favorite episode. So I just I've only ever watched it like twice because I just I didn't give a fuck about the stupid pod racing or whatever.
I mean, it's like take out the Gungans and Jar Jar, dude. Like Liam Neeson is
Jar
so
Jar.
good. It's so worth watching just to see his parts in it. In my opinion,
Yeah.
and Darth Maul too. Like that stuff's great.
Cape Cod Mall.
Anyway, we're getting off track. Any
Cape
other
Cod
nuggets
Mall, though.
before we
Cape
move
Cod
on
Mall.
to the fact that we have no deaths?
I must have died.
Dude, if it ain't in the ledger, it ain't
It didn't
happen.
happen. All right. No other nugs. There weren't really much in the world of nugs.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Other than I do
Thank you.
recommend you go and look at those gigantic walls of text in some of the episode nug sections because of just how fucking nerdy they are.
I did open those up, and I was getting to that later.
I didn't
Because
even
of that
read them,
exact
but
reason.
Jesus Christ, it's pretty bad.
No thanks.
Oh my
No
god!
deaths. I
dude.
guess
This
it's
is
kind of poetic that there are no deaths in a to discuss a topic where everyone essentially dies in the rebellion. I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too. This is a really great series. I can't wait to watch the entirety of it again. That's it. Go watch it if you haven't.
Agreed. Worth a watch. We're going to be doing Ding Dong Bing Bong next week. Looking forward to it.
Ding dong, bing bong. Nice.
50 cc's of Ding Dong Bing Bong.
Ding dong.
I'm really interested in to see how I take Rogue One now.
Oh, hold on a minute before you move on. Speaking of Henry Rollins,
Yes.
watching this season got me on like an Alan Tudyk kick.
Okay.
And he crowdfunded a sitcom called Con Man, where he plays like essentially like a version, like a jaded version of himself, where after Firefly ended, like he basically made a living essentially by getting no acting parts, but going from like con to con, like signing autographs and stuff. But he's like super jaded about the whole thing.
This is Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, this is Alan Tudyk.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
It's really funny. There's only 2 seasons of it. I don't think they ever finished the story. They just ran out of money or whatever. But it's got Frau Farbizna plays like his booking agent, and Henry Rollins is like the. Did you guys watch Firefly or?
Yeah.
I saw the movie, not the series. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Go
Well,
ahead.
Henry Rollins basically plays like the Jane role.
Okay.
But like there are cameos from all over geekdom and sci-fi and what's his face? Fuck. The guy that played the captain in Firefly.
Fillion?
Phil,
Yeah, Nathan Fillion's in it. Like,
nice.
so it's pretty good.
Love me some Fillion.
Totally, dude.
Totally. That's awesome. I love the
Yeah,
Henry
Henry
Rollins,
Rollins is in it.
connective tissue there.
That's right.
That's great. I'm kind of glad we didn't talk about Rogue One here, just because I'm very curious how I'm gonna take Rogue One after having all of this additional context, like if it changes the experience at all. So I think it's a good call to do it next week.
Righty-o. And if you guys... well, whatever.
Is that your worst?
Oh, my God.
Marsh.
Anyway, folks, thanks for joining us
all right?
for... no, I'm trying to think of this Diego Luna movie that has John C. Reilly and Maggie Gyllenhaal in it. It's a movie about thieves grifting each other. It's so fucking good, man. And it's called like thief or something like that. Something simple, one word. It's really, really good. Any fans of Diego should go
Criminal?
check that out, including
2004.
That's it. Criminal. Yeah. Thank you. That's really, really good. Anyway, folks, thanks for joining us for Andor Season 2, and we'll see you next week for the wrap-up with Rogue
For Andor
One.
Season 3.
There you go, Brandor Season 3. Yeah, okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.
See ya.
Bye.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode. Folks, if you would like to check out the show notes for this episode, you can do so in your podcast app of choice or on our website, ebd.fm//306. Additionally, as we always do at this part of the show, we'd like to thank everybody for supporting the show. Load these many years, either via listening, by giving us money, by reviewing us, by talking about us, whatever you do. We love it, and we thank you for it. We cherish you for it, and we appreciate it, sincerely. So, thank you for that. Additionally, if you would like to join in on the wacky conversation on social media, join us on Instagram at EBD Podcast. That's it. Thanks for joining us for Andor 2. We'll see you next week for Rogue One. So long for now, folks.
Two for Troy Eagle, three for Wolverine to round out the trio in this episode. Everybody dies.
Beady, beady, beady. Stop into it.